Hey everyone, so we are going to be wrapping up chapter 4 with a very short lecture and just talking about other ways we are socialized throughout our lives. And so reiteration, socialization is a lifelong process. And so I guess the question here becomes, what are some other events throughout our lives where we get socialized again? And so I said some of them in part 1, and it's school would be one. In college, I think finally being able to pick your classes, your times, your professors, being able to choose whether you go to class or not. Do you online? Do you do face-to-face? How many days out the week? And so you get a lot of freedom, and there's a lot of re-socialization that happens compared to high school, where you're constantly being told what to do, when to do it, how to do it, etc. Work would be one. I think becoming a mom was a really big one for me. When I had my baby, I feel like I had to get re-socialized on everything. Like I had to figure out my new roles as a mother, and and how people view me in society, because I'm now a mom of color. And I think there's becoming a parent is a big one. Yeah, and I guess you can let me know part of some of your video lectures about one. Military is probably a big one, which I think I kind of ruined for my next slide. And so resocialization is the process of replacing previously learned norms and values with new ones as a part of transition in life. And so socialization often happens when you get a new job, when you enter or leave the military, or when you take on a new role. So something like being a parent, but also something like even getting married and having a spouse. That's also a new role. And so a dramatic form of resocialization takes place in a total institution. And so this means an institution that cuts individuals off from the rest of society so that their lives can be controlled and regulated as much as possible. So something like prison, a cult, rehab, and maybe like a mental hospital, a mental institution. And so individuals often have a very difficult time adjusting to a total institution, and will face other difficult adjustments when they're leaving that institution into mainstream society. They have a lot of struggles because of the total institution and how much they were completely cut off from mainstream society and from their family and friends. So during resocialization, people must leave an old identity behind, as well as the norms that were associated with them. And so this occurs through something called the degradation ceremony, where people lose their old identities and are given new ones. Sometimes this is a gentle, caring process. Other times it can be extremely harsh, especially when we're talking about prison. It's going to be extremely harsh, where they give you a number and that's your name now. You don't have a name here. You don't have an identity. You don't have nothing here, right? And so sometimes it's a gentle process, right? It's just saying, hey, this is your new role now in this job, right? And so I think that's something interesting to think about. What are some other examples that that you experienced, or that you heard or saw? And so, like I said, this was a really short one. And it's really just to know that socialization doesn't end in our childhood. It's something that we're going to constantly experience throughout our lives. And so this chapter will be really relevant to us, because we're always going to experience this. But okay, I hope you enjoyed this chapter. I hope you observed and learned a lot of information. Let me know if I can help you in any way. So I will talk to you later. Bye.